Ladies, gentlemen, non-binary folks of all ages, welcome to the Into the Dark Marathon.
Great costume.
So before we get started, what's Into the Dark? Into the Dark is a kind of series, kind of anthology of films produced by Blumhouse and streamed on Hulu, released once per month since 2018, and every month, corresponding with a holiday, Hulu will put out a new film, and it's usually a good opportunity for no-name directors or lesser-known directors to get their feet a little wet and put something out there that a lot of people are going to be able to see. The Body is the first film in this series directed by Paul Davis. It stars Tom Bateman, Rebecca Rittenhouse, Ray Santiago, Aurora Perrineau, and David Hull, and it tells the story of a hitman trying to dispose of a body who gets roped into attending a Halloween party with a bunch of college kids because they think it's part of his costume. So I knew next to nothing about this movie going in, aside from the fact that it was based on a short film that Paul Davis also made. And, yeah, this is certainly a movie. The Body is a film that wants to have a point or be memorable or likable in some kind of way, and it's none of those things. Outside of a fun premise that could go all sorts of interesting directions, it takes the most standard lane and delivers one of the most by-the-numbers, boring, pretentious films imaginable. So yeah, in case you couldn't tell, I did not like this movie. And that's not to say it's the worst thing ever, far from it. It might not even be the worst in the Into the Dark series. It's well shot, the acting is okay, it's got some decent gore here and there, but all of those positives pale in comparison to the biggest negative, which is the writing. As I said, this movie desperately wants to have a point. It desperately wants to have something to say. And it doesn't do that. There are moments where you think you might see a glimmer of a theme coming through, and then it just totally veers off in the opposite direction to hit you in the face with more unfunny comedy. That is a huge problem with this movie. It wants to be a horror comedy. But in order to be a horror comedy, you have to be funny. There were one or two jokes that got a chuckle out of me. For the most part, it all just fell flat. Or was just flat out racist or sexist. It's trying to be clever satire, but there's nothing clever about it, and I don't really even know what it was trying to satirize. Even Ray Santiago, who is usually hilarious and easily one of my favorite parts of Ash vs. Evil Dead, is totally wasted here. The character isn't really funny. He has like one funny line, but for the most part, he's just a douche. Why would you waste one of the best comedic horror actors out there on a role as thankless as this? And speaking of douchey, boy do I hope you love long-winded monologues about the art of killing, because there are about 6 of them in this movie, and they all feel exactly the same. Quite honestly, you could mute the film anytime Tom Bateman's character is talking and just play audio from Jared Leto's Joker from Suicide Squad over it, and the only thing you would be missing is the British accent. I'm just saying, you would think that a movie that could afford to hire Sasha Grey as a DJ for their film could afford better writing, you know? Did they blow their whole budget on getting her? I'll admit, this review isn't as well thought out as my other reviews, because a well thought out review requires a movie that was well thought out, had some thought put into it, was about something, and this movie gave me nothing to work with, nothing to think about, nothing to enjoy. Even the ending, which could have been a really cool twist, ends up being a total asspull that makes no sense under even the slightest bit of thought. And it's just a shame. I'm gonna say that The Body is poor. It had so much potential, and all of that potential was squandered in favor of an extremely by-the-numbers movie that doesn't give you anything outside of a funny one-liner here and there, and some good gore toward the end. From my understanding, a lot of the films in this series are better than this, so I'm looking forward to see what comes next, but this was a not great start. Not happy I watched this. It was a waste of 90 minutes of my time. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you like this channel and you want to see more, click down there, like, comment, subscribe. There's a Patreon link down in the description if you want to donate to this channel, help us grow, make new, better quality content for you all to enjoy. You could be like any of these cool people right here. I would really appreciate it. It would mean a lot to me. There's all sorts of cool new reward tiers, anything from access to my private Discord server to gifts sent right to your door once a month. If any of that interests you, please consider donating. Even $1 would help. But even if you don't, thank you so much for watching anyway. I'll see you all very soon, and I'll be back shortly with another episode of Into the Dark.
Choose a job you love. You never have to work a day in your life.